to be built in Idaho, and then they were shipped down here. But they are really nice. They're really thermally sound. They're not big. They're small, but we did that on purpose because we wanted to make sure that we had a place for the people that temperature was the big thing. Right. So those rooms were designed so that no matter whether it's 30 degrees outside or 115, you can set your heater or your air conditioner and the room will get to that temperature and hold it.
Exactly.
So, and we compensated the smaller indoor space with a large outside gated patio. Each one of those rooms has its own covered patio. So I really like those rooms. They've got a lot of the benefits of camping, but all of the benefits of getting out of the elements.
My goal for 2021 is going to be to convince the trophy wife to come and get I think you call it the miner's cabin. Is that the one right
Yes.
on the point?
Yeah.
To come and stay there. Because she's been here, and I said, I'll take you to a nice resort where the weather's warm. She said, not the Panamint Springs Resort. It's not a resort. I said, yes, it is. It's wonderful. It's great. This miner's cabin is really outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
So my goal is,
great.
before I leave tomorrow, I'm going to talk to the guys down at the gas station, ask for a key, and take pictures and show her.
Yes.
And I hope to be here in 2021 with her.
I think we should have pictures of that also on our website.
I've shown her the pictures on the
Okay.
website. She doesn't trust them.
Gotcha. Okay.
and I've looked in the windows, and they're great. It's just as advertised.
Yeah.
But if she sees them on my phone, she'll be convinced.
All right. And we were supposed to be breaking ground on a pool right now. We did a lot of realignment in 2019, and really refocused on the most important things here, and it was working really well. Created a really great business plan, and that plan really called for us to be putting in a pool this winter. Should be breaking ground on it right now, but then of course COVID happened, and it's just been really tough to just the area in general, but specifically here in Death Valley. The businesses here in Death Valley have been really hard hit, and we're just really happy that the guests that we have and the returning guests and the folks that come out here all the time, like yourself, are coming out to support us because it allows us to continue to be here and keep the power going. This place is an expensive place to shut down. Like, I can't even afford to shut the place down. Mothballing is just not an option. It was either keep it open or let it go. And so we decided we would do everything we could to keep it open because we just don't want to let it go.
Well, kudos to you and your family for doing that. Every time I come out here, I always stay here. I never consider any place else. But it's just coming out here and what's in Death Valley and Panamint Valley and the whole area, just the amazing topography and the stuff that you will not see anywhere else. Case in point, last time I was here was April 2019 with my son and daughter-in-law. And I always go up to Father Crowley Lookout, Rainbow Canyon, to watch the jets come through. I went there this time and found out that something interesting happened in, was it July of 2019?
It was late July of 2019.
Yeah, the plane actually crashed.
Yeah, it's the first time that I know of.
If you were here, you must have heard it.
We didn't hear it. We saw it.
You saw it.
We saw the mushroom cloud coming up above the hills. Because that's about 8 miles away.
Yeah.
And it's tucked in that canyon.
Yes.
So, the sound wouldn't have come straight here. It would have kind of gone out that way.
Okay.
Sorry, for those of you that are listening, that it would have gone out to the east, where we sit, sort of more to the southeast of Rainbow Canyon. And so we didn't hear it, but we saw it. We saw the big smoke going up. My dad hopped in the car and rode up there, and thankfully he did because he speaks French, and the only folks that were up there were a few French tourists, and some of them had been hit by debris, minor cuts, and minor burns. But yeah, the jet smashed into the wall, basically right underneath them. First time, like I said, first time that I know of, and I've been here, almost 15 years. And really, those guys have an amazing safety record because that canyon has no room for error.
None.
It's just they're down in there. They're flying tight through that canyon. I mean, from Father Crowley, you're looking down into Rainbow Canyon, or Star Wars Canyon, as the Armed Services refers to it.
Right.
And there's just, it's amazing that they get the planes even to fit in that canyon, and they're moving through there, 400 knots an hour, and there's just no room for error. They do that about 8 to 10 times a day.
Well, every time I've come here, I've seen it. A couple that was camping just behind where I'm camping, they work in the aerospace industry, and they wanted to go up and look. And I said, well, hey, I'm going to go too, so we'll go. So they went up about 9. I got there about 9:30. We didn't see anything. But I went down, I climbed down and looked, and the debris field, even though they've taken away many of the big pieces, there's still foot-long pieces of debris laying about. I would say, if I had to guess, I would say millions of pieces of debris. So that thing, I could not find a strike point where the airplane hit, but, I'm not a...
It used to be really visible.
Yeah.
Like, you used to be able to see it from the highway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Maybe nature has cleared it away, I don't know, but the debris field is still there. I mean, just titanium, aluminum, carbon fiber, wiring, piping, fuel lines, everything. Just, it's still there. You can't take a step without seeing it. If you go down into the canyon, I would say, if you look at an area that's maybe a square meter, you'll find 10 or 15 pieces.
Wow.
It's still there. All small, most small.
Yeah.
Some a foot long, but not all. So I'm sure the government took away what they could and what they had to.
And what was potentially, valuable for intelligence?
Right.
That would have been probably their top priority after the retrieval of the pilot.
Yeah, and he was a Top Gun pilot. This was no rookie.
Yeah.
Did they ever find out was it pilot error? Was it a problem with the plane? Did they disclose?
I'm sure that they know, but I'm sure that we never will.
Yeah. Well, the government isn't the only person who keeps their mouth shut. Today I went down to Ballarat, and I told you that I like to go there and visit my buddy Rocky. You said that Rocky had left. Rumors said he had come back. Those rumors are false.
Okay.
Rocky's living just outside of Trona on 5 acres that he bought. There's a guy there named Louie. And Louie has been a summer caretaker off and on for a while, and he's the caretaker now. And I asked him to do a podcast. He doesn't do podcasts. I asked him all kinds of questions. He doesn't like to answer questions. And he's just, he's your typical desert guy.
Yeah, he sounds par for the course out here.
Yeah, he doesn't know me. He didn't want me to know him. And he answered, the top 10 questions. Yes, it gets hot out here. Yes, we have burrows. Yes, Charles Manson was in the area. Anything else, you're going to have to figure it out on your own. And a question I asked him is the next question I will ask you. And I have to ask this to everybody here. Because this Louis fella was probably, if I had to guess, I'd say he's 45. Lived out here all his life. Moved to the coast near Santa Maria for a while to help care for his mother. His mother passed. He came right back out here. I said, you lived out here a long time. And just then a F-18 had come by. I said, you see a lot of this. I said, but you see a lot of other things in the sky? He said, oh, yeah, I see a lot of stuff out here. I said, like what? He said, I'm not going to tell you. He said, you're going to have to come out and see for yourself because I've seen stuff, but I don't tell people what I've seen. If you come out here and you stay long enough and you'll see things that you will not believe. I'm going to ask you the question. You've been out here a long time. Have you seen stuff in the sky that you couldn't explain?
Oh, sure.
Like what? And don't give me the Louis, please.
No, I mean,
because I've been out here one time, and I saw one thing one time, and I'm thinking, if I saw it, surely you have.
So, now, I can explain this now, I think. But, we're really not that far from Area 51.
You're not that far from China Lake either.
Oh, China Lake's right around the corner. In fact,
Right.
sometimes we see China Lake. Its primary mission, the primary reason that base exists, is it's a naval weapons station. It's a Navy base in a landlocked area.
Right.
Right.
Which right there is an anomaly.
Yeah. It's for ordnance development and testing. And so there's been times where we've gotten a pretty cool light show because we're actually really not that far from the back entrance to China Lake Naval Weapons Station, where they do actually more of their testing. And so we've seen some really cool flashes of light, and we assume that they're testing new ordnance.
Sure.
But I was driving on Highway 95 south between Beatty and Las Vegas, right through
Crete, be near Creech.
right near Creech.
Okay.
But you go past one of the entryways to the area known as Area 51.
You take care. You need to take care of this customer.
I need to take care of
Let's
this gentleman.
pause.
All right, so I'm driving 95 there, and I'm between Mercury, which is one of the entries to Area 51, and Creech Air Force Base, and I see these lights that are going straight up in the air, and then turning at like a 90-degree angle, going then horizontal to the ground.
Yes.
And then back down, back up, back down, and just flying these patterns, these very angular patterns.
Yes.
Now, this was about 12 years ago. This was right after I got here. And I had no idea what I was seeing at the time.
Well, funny you should say that because that's exactly what I saw right out here, right above these lights, and it was just bang up. It would drop, then it would go up, then it would go right, it would go left, and for about a half an hour, and then bang, it was gone. Yeah. And my son and I, now that was we had bought quite a bit of beer from you, but we weren't imagining this. Okay.
Yeah.
And the next night, they thought, well, maybe it was just a star. Maybe it was, who knows? Well, the next night it wasn't there. Okay, if it was a star, it would have been there. That's just what we saw.
Yeah. Yep. Now, Creech, if you drive by Creech today...
That's the drone capital, right?
That's the drone base.
Yeah.
That's the drone base. And they're doing touch and goes of those drones that basically look like a big missile.
Yeah.
With like a little extra on the nose and really long wings. And they're doing touch and goes on that pretty much every time I drive by.
Yeah.
So because of the proximity to that, because we sit at the between so many different air bases, really. I mean, there's Nellis, there's Edwards, there's China Lake, there's Area 51,
Creech.
There's Creech. There's the plane that crashed was from Lemoore. When
Okay.
you're doing 400 knots, 500 knots, like the state of California's postage stamp.
Exactly. Exactly.
And this is prime airspace. When Clinton signed the Desert Protection Act, the military was like, yeah, well, that's one of our major training zones. And so you're incorporating some of that area. Tell you what, we'll let you go through with this park, but we're going to continue to train here. Over Death Valley, we won't go below 1,000 feet. But the rest of it, we're still going to train, and we're still going to train at low altitude, high-speed flight.
Well, you go just south of Death Valley, and I will tell you that on Panamint Springs Valley Road there, they flew right over the highway, maybe 200 meters, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's outside the park.
Yep, that area is outside the park. But even here in the park, they predate the park quite a ways. I'm forgetting the exact year that they started using this as a flight complex. But I want to say it was 37.
Yeah. Well, because there's pictures up there of Father Crowley of the bi-wings.
Yeah.
Going through Rainbow Canyon.
I mean, so before World War II, our pilots were training in this desert.
Yeah.
And every now and then I get someone that complains about there being the fighter jets, and it's like, well, this actually was their desert before it was ours.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do?
Right. Well, yeah.
Have you ever seen anything out here?
Out here,